Which Wolverhampton DJs decided not to be in the Wolverhampton Revival Cup clash? Let's have the conversation. What's good, everybody? You know what it is. Select, hype, like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Obviously fresh trim and everything, so everything's nice right now, looking kind of good. One quick thing, you see this here, while I'm pointing at that thing on the top of there, somebody sent me a message and says, yo, like the videos and that, you know, just it's kitchen settings, man. It's where I'm at. They goes, yo, that thing, this, just take it out the way, man. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I looked and I thought, while doing this video, if anybody in the comments can tell me what that is, you can get some sound system clothing.
Put the ball here like Amber Rose. Tight look right, this a camel toe. Photo shoot. Pause, 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 pause.
So that there, it's going to stay there until either somebody gets it right or it's time for me to take it down and use it for its proper reason. Okay, before we go to the topic at hand, you know what it is. Saturday the 24th of May, 2025, it's the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash. 6 DJs, 5 rounds, £1,000 winner takes all trophy and the title all taking place at the Premier League football ground, Molyneux. Keep telling you, it's never been done before. Reggae and sound system culture in a Premier League club. We're doing it big. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year. If you haven't got your tickets, I do not know what you are waiting for. Grab your tickets ASAP. Super early bird tickets are now sold out. We have a second release of tickets. They are literally, as I'm doing this video, there are 3 left. So while you're watching this video, there are 3 early bird tickets left, second release, and then it's going to be general, and then it's going to be more on the door. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because people want answers, and I can't keep answering and keep going over the same thing over and over again. When I see this person, yo, why is that DJ not on it? Or go somewhere else, yo, you should have put so-and-so on there, you know. I get a phone call message, yo, how come so-and-so is not on it? And it's just jarring. When you got a platform like TV Sound System, I can look in the camera and just answer all those questions. So who were the DJs that turned it down? Now, like it or not, when it comes to something like the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, £1,000 winner takes all, Molyneux Football Stadium, the standards have to be high. So there's a couple of people who says, yo, why is so-and-so not in it? Why is he not in it? Whatever. The standards have to be high. I'm not saying you're a good DJ. I'm not saying that you're a bad DJ. I'm just saying if your standards are going to be high. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what's really, really good about me doing this video is a lot of the people then who said, why are they not on it, are the same people who I asked. So it's kind of cool. So I don't have to do 2 videos. Because I thought I was going to have to do 2 videos like, who did I call and didn't turn it and turned it down, against the people them who wanted them to be on it and they're not on it. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, man, I think that makes sense. So let's waste no time at all. The first DJ, the top of the top DJ, and can I just say another disclaimer? I'm only going to be dealing with Wolverhampton DJs. There were other DJs from out of town, because obviously the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash isn't just for Wolverhampton DJs like it was 20 years ago. But I'm only going to be focusing on the Wolverhampton DJs because 1, I'm from Wolverhampton, and 2, every time I go somewhere, these are the questions. It hasn't come from, I haven't been to Birmingham and nobody's not questioning anything, or Nottingham or Manchester or London. But Wolverhampton, where I live, where we're here, man, we're here. So the people them are asking me, so I'm just going to talk about the Wolverhampton DJ. I have to go with the first DJ, which was just inundated in my ears. How come? What's going on? You bad mind. You're fighting the thing. You're fighting him. Archie D. Why isn't Archie D in the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash? Shout out, reaching out to the man Archie D. You see my video previously that did very, very extremely well, me breaking down why Archie D is such a good DJ. So if I make a big video about Archie D, how on earth is he not in the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash? The reason why is because by his words, it's not really for me. Now, being super honest, I asked Archie D 20 years ago about the Revival Cup clash, and he said 20 years ago, it's not really for him. 20 years later, it's not really for him again. And I can fully understand what he's saying because he broke it down to me as and why he wouldn't. Fully supports what I'm doing and says, yo, what you're doing, killing it. Help me out wickedly for this year. Trust me, the story that I could tell you, Archie knows a story, somebody else knows a story, and I know the story. And all three stories will be 100% true. So Archie D, all the people that have been asking me and saying, yo, how Gladiator Clash champion, blah, blah, blah. I did ask Archie D. Well, Archie D seems that those kind of competitions are not for him. The next big name where everybody was saying, like mosquito in my ears, Daddy Skipper. Why is Daddy Skipper not in the Wolverhampton Revival Cup clash? He won it 20 years ago. Where was he last year? And why is he not in it this year? Now, everything what I'm saying is facts. I'm in my house, I'm in my kitchen, I'm using my own camera on my own platform. So I don't need to tell no lies or go around the thing or anything. Last year, Daddy Skipper, I said to him, yo, Revival Cup clash is coming up again. And he says, we don't really need them thing there, unless me get some money. Obviously, it's £1,000 winner takes all, but he had other agendas, which I cannot complain about or nothing. Just giving you his reason. He was like, yo, to go in them kind of thing, I gotta get something. I can't just rely on the whole winner takes all thing. And let's just be honest, man, that's his opinion. I can agree with it to a point. I would really love him to be on there. As the reigning champion from 20 years ago, it would have been super cool. But again, Daddy Skipper's a legend. He's been around for a long time. Does he technically have to do these things? No. But he says it wasn't for him. Also, last year, he also says, yo, my diary's kind of mad and I might be going to Gambia. So he kind of was like, politely says, no. So big up myself, Daddy Skipper. When I eventually caught up with him, and we had the conversation and he was like, yo, man, it would have been nice still. And he was like, yo, if you need an adjudicator or anybody just behind the scenes to just see what I want, I says, all right, cool. So Skipper kind of was on board just to kind of oversee and say, oh, time checking and etc. etc. So he still held me out last year by not being on the stage, but he still helped out behind the scenes and was bigging up the thing. So again, no Daddy Skipper, stop bothering me. Those are his reasons. Captain and Country Judah. Why are not Captain and Country Judah in the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash hot hype? You got them down as some little hosting the thing when the man they should be in the competition. You're telling me that, but you're not telling them that, are you? Why are Captain and Country Judah not in the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash? Last year, I had it on my head to say I'd want Captain and Country Judah in it. So, I'm going to give you mad facts, you know. I linked up with Country, was at East Park, went to go and link him. And when I linked him to tell him about the Revival Cup Clash, blah, 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 I didn't really want to say, I want you guys to host it. I gave him an option. And when I got down there, Country was on the phone, loudspeaker with Captain at that time. And I says, yo, perfect opportunity. I says, you know what it is. It's Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you guys hosted it 20 years ago. But what? When the man don't really want to come in, do you want to come in? Do you want to come on an actual thing? And I'm not going to lie. It was so 50-50. They were like, yo, we could come in this and wreck shop, you know. It's not even a problem. But they really enjoyed hosting the thing. And they were like, hi, let's just host, man. We continue doing what we're doing. We did it 20 years ago. Let's just keep our same position where we was 20 years later. I think right now, and I think as well, the same with Daddy Skipper, and probably might be the same with Archie D as well. It depends on how competitive you are. some DJs, such as the three that I just mentioned, you could technically say have nothing to prove unless you're super competitive and always want to be in it. But what I liked about all the three DJs that I said is they gave me their reasons and still supported what's going on. So again, that's the reason why Captain and Country Judah are not on the Revival Cup Clash, but will be there hosting the event just as professionally as they did last year and 20 years ago. Bullet Movements, yo, Bullet Movement with the most improvements. Talk Up Wednesdays. Bullet's got the whole sound system thing lot right now. Last year I linked up with Bullet Movement, and I'm gonna be like Superfax again. Didn't really engage with Bullet Movement. It's funny that we live in Wolverhampton and we're cool. Say Bullet, yes, Bullet, good, blah, blah, blah. But we had a conversation. I don't know how the conversation came. I think I gave him a phone call talking about something completely different. And the whole Revival Cup Clash thing come up. And he was like, boy, I'm not going at that, but I'm not really mighty and so and so. And blah. And then it just got to the conversation of sound system. And at that time there, I didn't actually have a sound system ready. That wasn't in, it was on my list of things to do. But I didn't have a sound system, and he was talking like sound system. I said, yo, bam. I says, all right, and cool. You want to be in a competition? Can I book the sound? He says, yo, hype, anything. I says, yo, what's the fee? Here's the fee. I said, all right, cool, book you. There you go. And then that's the reason why last year Bullet wasn't on it. And this year, again, I says to Bullet, no, actually, that's a lie. I says to Bullet, I prefer you not to be in it, because I like the way how you dealt with the sound system, the professional vibes that he came, the interaction, the constantly communicating with me, setting up a lot of production, what you're seeing, was hands down to Bullet Movement. I don't do all this by myself. So I have to say hats off to Bullet. So last year, he brought his sound. This year, he was just going to bring his sound again. So hats off to Bullet Movement. The reason why then, basically why Bullet Movement is not on it, because he's on it. It's his sound system that represents for the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, 2nd year in a row.
Yeah. Christopher Ellis speaking, the singing wizard. Bullet, Devontae Lamar. This is Smooth and Deadly, Wolverhampton family. Yeah.
Check 1, 2. Easy selector hype. Don't even start check the general.
The street is blind, the music is so nice, the people are in change. We are playing music live,
I'm paying people live.
they say we got an advantage.
You know.
Everybody showing Bullet Movement love, while we be showing me, and then now I'm your girl, sick of it.
I'm a fluffy offspring. Bullet Movement the smartest.
We are smashing.
All in there.
Yeah. Ha. Oh my gosh. He's the best. Bullet Movement.
Streets of popular girl.
This is the international sound. It's the way you play, why they love you, and the things you say, why they make you laughing like I.
My Uncle Banton B, the rice and peas specialist, was on the Revival Cup Clash 20 years ago. Don't get it twisted, called him up, man. I said, yo, last year, Revival Cup Clash, what you saying? And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, if it's not strictly vinyl, he's not going to be in it. And I says, yo, I've got to move forward with the times. It's not about the format of the music that you're playing, it's just the music itself. So you can play on vinyl, CDs, laptop, whatever. It's not the format, it's more or less the music. and he was like, all right, well then that's not for me, because if it's not vinyl, it's not for me. Obviously, Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, I have to move forward with the format, the technology, the venues, the production. We've got to be 2025. We cannot be 2005. I can't do a Revival Cup Clash and it's exactly the same thing 20 years ago. We have to move with the time. So I understand what he's saying. It's a vinyl thing. There are vinyl clashes that are taking place. So I hope I see Bantam B going in those Revival clashes where it is strictly vinyl, because then it doesn't look like what you said was an excuse.
Greetings. It is I, Jamaica, Selector, Exodus Movement. We are doing a big show, Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, Saturday the 24th of May at Premiership Football Club, Molyneux Stadium. Check it out, £6 in competition. Be there, tickets available.
Silverstone, Full Chairs and Killer B gave them the link. This one's the quickest one ever. Phone Full Chairs, yo fam, Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash. Where you saying, boy, that's not for me, you know. Alright then, cool, bless. That's all.
MWS Media and Events Limited presents the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash 2025. 6 DJs, 5 rounds, £1,000 cash prize. Winner takes all. Your competitors: Exodus Movements from Wolverhampton, from Birmingham, Mikey EY, Bloodline Music, Country Bigs and Pool Blood, from Manchester, Hustler Ghetto Heart, and Mr. Swing Easy from London. The date: Saturday the 24th of May 2025 at the Molyneux Stadium, Waterloo Road, Wolverhampton, WV1 4QR. The competition rounds and rules are as follows: 10-minute non-elimination, 1 for 1, anything goes, best of 10, and first to 6. There'll be no music after the year 1989, and no dub plates, no playbacks, and no cursing. Clash starts at 10:30 p.m. sharp. Hosted by the Big Bad Captain and Country Judah. Sound system supplied by Bullet Movements. Advance $6 price at £20. Available online. Tickets are available from all the contenders on the bill. Hatman in Birmingham, Country Judah, or the general number 07398 262 753 for the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash 2025.
Honourable shout out to last year's competitors, which was Fire Sound and Black Harmony. Now, with Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, I always said every year will be 6 different entertainers. Nobody's not going to come to Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash as a reigning champion or runners-up. It's always going to be, every year, somebody else can get the opportunity to win a title and say, you know, that year I won that. And I think that's fairer than having a reigning champion there every single year, when there's got to be a space for somebody else to come in and be a part of what we're doing. So if you've been on the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, the chances are from last year to this year, and if we move forward, or how I intend to move forward, if you come on it now, you won't be on it again until we have the champions of champions. People, that's it. There is nobody else. I'm sorry if those were the top names where everybody was calling me and asking me about, and it's also the same people that I asked personally myself. So I'm giving you my explanation, which is based on facts. None of the DJs can come and say, you're lying, or it didn't go like that. It went like how it went. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up. The road to Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash is absolutely insane. We gave you reasons, and all we can do now is move forward. 6 DJs, 5 rounds, £1,000 winner takes all. Please, people, get your tickets from now. Because if you don't get your tickets, I do not want anybody questioning paying on the door. Paying on the door is going to be a totally situation. Get your tickets. Please, please, please get your tickets. We have been pushing this from November right up until where we are now. So if you couldn't get super early bird tickets, I don't know. If you can't get the second release tickets, like I said, there's about 3 more. If you're comfortable to say, all right, then cool, I'll just get my general release ticket as and when, fine. But don't roll up into Molyneux for the winner takes all Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash, £1,000 cash prize, parking up to the Premier League situation, and you ain't got no ticket. You're going to have to pay on the door, you know. And paying on the door, the last thing you need to do is say, oh, I'm not pay them things. You will get turned away because we just don't have time for that. We're moving super mad forward. We're moving mad professional. We're in a lane where it's new, it's exciting, and we are going to absolutely smash this as a collective. Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash 2025, Molineux Football Stadium. It's going to be a movie. Make sure you're up inside the building. And again, thank you so much for everybody who's been supporting everything what I'm doing. I really felt like I had to do a video like this because I just cannot constantly reply to so many people asking me why this and why that and why that when I have one of the biggest platforms out there to explain my own promotional thing. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who like, comment, share and subscribe. And we're going to keep it moving. More videos coming your way right the way through 2025. And always remember to just link me, holler at me, let me know certain conversations, certain topics and anything that you want me to bring up. We can do that right here. And before I go, also, like I said in the beginning, write in the comments what you think that is. Because it's not going to move now, you know. What is that? If you can tell me that in the comments, if anybody gets it right, Sound System Clothing coming your way. I'm out. One piece.
MWS Media and Events Limited presents the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash 2025. 6 DJs, 5 rounds, £1,000 cash prize. Winner takes all. Your competitors: Exodus Movements from Wolverhampton, from Birmingham Mikey EY, Bloodline Music, Country Bigs and Pool Blood, from Manchester Hustler Ghetto Heart, and Mr. Swing Easy from London. The date: Saturday the 24th of May 2025 at the Molineux Stadium, Waterloo Road, Wolverhampton, WV1 4QR. The competition rounds and rules are as follows: 10-minute non-elimination, 1 for 1, anything goes, best of 10 and first to 6. There'll be no music after the year 1989 and no dub plates, no playbacks and no cursing. Clash starts at 10:30 p.m. sharp. Hosted by the Big Bad Captain and Country Judah. Sound system supplied by Bullet Movements. Advance ticket price at £20. Available online. Tickets are available from all the contenders on the bill. Hatman in Birmingham, Country Judah, or the general number 07398 262 753 for the Wolverhampton Revival Cup Clash 2025.